Hello everybody, hope you're doing well. Welcome to the second video of Tuesday. I've tried to keep it of a low profile over the last 24 hours. I have posted stuff because if anybody didn't know, the weekend was just Battleground Brawl coverage, and then everything else that I recorded for the weekend I kind of bumped over to yesterday as the second and third video and the first video of today. So this is freshly recorded. I'm in, well, I don't know what this is. I look like I'm doing an impression of kind of Iron Fist with having this up. Anyway, let's put that back to normal. Just get to the point, Rich. Yeah, I'll get to the point. Right, okay, fine. Bit of fun. Any case, right. Saw this, thought, let's make a video on it. I got to record the MCN in a moment for tomorrow. But Kabam have posted this. Let's chat about Defender AI, current state, behind the scenes, upcoming changes. So this is something I've wanted to talk to you for a little while. I know Kabam have been very, not cagey, but they've been kind of like, I don't know whether or not I've been technically allowed to talk about stuff or not when it comes to the AI side of things. And that's just going to be, we'll talk a bit more about like that and kind of things I've experienced, because I think people would want to know, like, you know, okay, well, have you experienced the better AI or new AI and stuff? But let's just read some of this stuff and kind of react to it as we go. There's been a lot of discussion in the community about AI recently. It's not been recently, it's been for a hell of a long time. The enemy AI, Defender AI, has been just terrible since, I want to say, I can't think of, I think it's like exhaustion by about 2018, 2019. I'd say it's been like 5 years. Most people would kind of like say that, you know, it's been 5 years of the 9 years that this game's been operating. So we wanted to take this opportunity to shed some light on how our AI system works and what we've been working on behind the scenes. We hope this post will provide transparency, insight, and an understanding of the situation and how our team is handling AI issues. So, Kabam's current state of AI. Let's get this a bit more kind of zoomed in for you so we can read it all together. Our EIAIO, I can't speak. Our AI works on a years-old system of randomly weighted actions. That, in any case, is a massive red flag to note there's something. So, I think it's rude to maybe refer to AI as archaic, but it's basically, well, it's like, if it's years old, then it's like, what do they mean by that? It's like since the game started running, which isn't great. AI should constantly evolve. I know Kabam are putting stuff in place that makes it evolve. It does evolve. It has been a pain in the butt at times. And of course, a lot of players will say, no, you're just going to adapt to the situation. It's just a case of like, always adapt. Which I get it. I get that's the thing. But at the same time, when there's arena AI that just stands there with just this block, hit into block, countered by special, the bug that was acknowledged by Kabam and then wasn't worked on. AI has been in trouble for or frustration for a long time. The AI looks at the AI looks at its current state, looks at all of the actions it could perform, and then randomly rolls to decide which action it will take. This is not a learning AI, it is simply rolling dice, which is kind of like there's RNG in game, but there's RNG and AI RNG. Now, I think a lot of this AI you may have seen in the Battle Realm Brawls. So any kind of AI that was kind of like doing any kind of movements or rotations, that may be in it. And that's maybe why you've seen a lot of the competitors, you know, playing rather well. It may be a case of, well, those particular players adapting to that, which could be a thing as well. If you've been kind of working towards one type of AI that's currently in game and then have to go, okay, let's kind of let's kind of then change the way that I approach certain AI, because I know it's going to be troublesome. Like, I know Mordo isn't going to be as fluid with movement, or proactive with movement. It's going to be in its block a lot of the time, as you know, its course of AI and how it operates. It's difficult. Anyway, moving on. There's some advances to this system. You don't want a fighting game to be predictable, perfectly predictable after all. However, it also means the AI can sometimes be frustrating to play against when RNG ends up working against you. Our goal has always been to maintain a fair and challenging AI system. And I get that. That's the difficulty, isn't it? Like, fighting, unpredictability. You don't go into a boxing ring and go, oh, I know this guy, he's a southpaw, and therefore he's going to have this type of, action. This one's unorthodox and has this type of stance and will always do this kind of head bob thing. And it's like, okay, well, I know how to kind of like counteract that. But I would say with that, the biggest part of counteracting in a fighting game is when you slap a load of nodes on it, slap a load of abilities on that particular character, and then have to realize that you have to benchmark against that kind of level of play. And that's where I think the adaptation should always be. Not on the case of like going, oh, right, so they're going to build power, but they're going to stay like this and they're blocked for the entirety of the time. Well, because I don't hit you, I'm going to be brute forced and I'm going to be destroyed when you get to an SP3. And that is the issue that we have when AI is not proactive in movement. It becomes against this kind of fair and flow of what is meant to be, yes, a challenge, but fairness is taken away from it because you've got those particular scenarios as I've just mentioned. Anyway, I will move on and digress. Why does it feel different now? To be clear, we haven't been actively changing the AI code. We are not using it as a tool to annoy summoners to drive item usage. However, the contest also isn't the same game it was years ago. Either our game is complicated web of interactions, the increasing complexity of champion kits, nodes, and number of engine upgrades all add up to the result of us operating without a clear history of AI changes. We can look into when summoners raise frustrations about the AI. Okay. Tech improvements incoming. And I think this is what is on the content creator beta at the moment. The engineering team has been working behind the scenes to address these concerns for a long time. One of the things we discovered while digging into the input issues and standing up our fight replay tech was that some of the replays were getting back weren't always consistent. Digging into this more, we found that some of the AI randomness was occurring in the game engine layer, in code we didn't write, can't change, and doesn't yield the same results every time. Oh my god, this is a massive revelation. For all the players that have posted to Kabam to say like, okay, well, I think this is a bug, and obviously we saw when it came to Kabam responding back about the Sir Tapsalot stuff, is we gave the impression that the way that the Kabam engineers were seeing stuff was that, well, no, player error. And that's the issue and the problem, isn't it? Like Kabam will see a lot of the time these kind of like tickets, codes or whatever or from players to go, this is player error. And this is why I think a lot of players have been very dubious about going, well, look, this is a bug, your side. You can see there's an issue. But Kabam are seeing it like, no, it's not. Because they're like, well, there doesn't seem to be a problem, or they can't replicate it. And the reason they can't replicate it is because they don't get to see or can't replicate because of this particular issue. Wow, that's a bit of a revelation. A first step in moving the randomness that currently is happening on the engine layer over to your own code, so we can get 100% consistent fight replays. The goal here is that the game should play the same as it does now, but will be able to be more consistently reproduce player-reported issues. From there, we'll be able to better investigate the things that are frustrating summoners that make fixes where we deem necessary. Ultimately, this will give us more control over our system and will allow us to help us to improve the summon experience moving forward. Then making changes to the AI can be precarious process. Summoners have grown accustomed to elements of the AI and rely on strategies to counter them. True, but then, as we said, nodes do play a factor in, abilities play a factor into being frustrating, and coupled with patterns of unfairness is a big issue. We're trying to avoid invalidating existing summoner strategies by making small incremental changes. Your link, intentions, timelines, and expectations, which is here. You'll encounter our new AI system in November. So November. We are confident that we have successfully recreated the current system. This is transition will work relatively seamless. To reiterate, the goal at this stage is for you to experience no discernible changes. By transitioning over to this new system, we will have more thorough control in identifying, replicating, and triangulating potential bugs in the AI system. How confident are we? We enabled the new AI system on the CTB beta server for a week before telling them, sneaky. The intention was to see if they were any noteworthy changes they encountered. Essentially, did it feel any different? After discussion with the CTP, we are confident that we are ready to implement the system game-wide. Okay, so a bit of so now I can talk to you about like what I experienced. So back a little while ago, actually I think it was several weeks ago, I think it was a question posed to like CTP members. Did you notice any kind of changes with the AI? And I found it better, and I just found that the flow was better. I found the AI was better in kind of throwing out specials. I found that the movements didn't seem like weirder. Like champions and defenders seem like how I remember the game back in like 2015, 16, 17, and 18. And after that, obviously, it went downhill. So I found that it was great. One of the Kabam people did say to me, like, oh, we're only looking for bugs. Well, it's like, surely you want to know that, it's better. But yeah, that's how I found it. I'm going to be... well, the thing is, I don't know if they're saying that they turned it off or anything, but I did notice, like, without them... I thought, first of all, I was playing against, I think, Winter Soldier fight. Some footage is out on my channel from, I don't know, like, playing with a certain champion. And I was like, okay, well... oh, this fight went really well. Then I left it a while, and then the message from Kabam, hey, we've changed this. So it was like a bit of a surprise, but also like a pleasant surprise. I don't know how this is going to play. It's going to play out when it rolls out to everybody in November. I'll try and see if I can find that footage or kind of point you to the video where it seemed to be, better. And I don't know if Kabam have like necessarily turned it off, but they may have turned it off for something like the Battle Realm Brawl. That's the thing. They may have turned it off for the Battle Realm Brawl. Then, you'll see it in next month's update. Either way, I think it's exciting times. I'm very much looking forward to whatever this is, and whether or not, players like it as well. Because if players like it, then this could be beneficial. It could go awfully wrong, but I always think that, it's taken a long time to get here for Kabam to actually do something about this. As the last time I questioned it, they kind of gave the impression that the extent of work, which is they just would not be willing to do it. So this is interesting. It's a bit of a revelation in certain places that Kabam are willing to do this. What is everyone's thoughts on this? Put it in the comments section. Are you looking forward to this? Are you happy that Kabam are at last? It's not just recently. It's a case that this has been 5 years in the making. And yeah, I wish everyone luck when we see this update. Thank you very much for watching this video. Check out some other content located on screen, and check out the MCN tomorrow at the normal time of 12 midday UK time. Have a great day, whatever you're doing. Bye-bye.